Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Welcome, participants and attendees to this third event. Welcome again to Healthy and Uplifted monthly webinar. Our topic for today is becoming fit and focused while parenting. And as Brianna said, I am your host, Dr. Azuma. Okay, I wanted to start this event today or this webinar today with a joke because I do struggle. I do struggle with exercising because I'm so busy. So I saw this caption on social media. It says, the doctor asked me to spend at least 1 hour per day on the treadmill, and that's how he does it. And you know what? I think I'm the same. You know, I sleep next to a treadmill instead of exercising. But today will be a new day. Dr. Kabari, Dr. Shola, Dr. Efyong would teach us how to use the treadmill instead of sleeping on it. And I know we're going to be motivated after we hear Dr. Efyong, Dr. Kabari, Dr. Shola teach us how to do this. Dr. Efyong is a board-certified pediatrician. She's a certified health coach. She's a wife. She's a mother of 3 children. So guess what? She is busy. So it's a pleasure having Dr. Efyong as the keynote speaker. All right. And those of you that have been to our previous webinars, you guys are familiar with Dr. Ezio Koli. I go by Dr. Shola. Dr. Shola is a vibrant, innovative CEO and founder of Balance with Dr. Shola LLC. She's an international coaching certified coach under the ICF coaching model. Dr. Kabari graduated from New York Chiropractic College in New York. He is a doctor of chiropractic care. And one fun fact about Dr. Kabari, he is the first person to bring chiropractic care to Nigeria. So it's always cool to see someone that is always making a difference as well. My co-moderator, Latasha Cleveland, she's the Assistant Executive Director for Healthy and Uplifted. She's also an active member of the National Society of Leadership and Success. Can you please join me in welcoming all of our keynote speakers and co-moderators? Yay! And now I'm going to hand the floor over to Dr. Efyong as she teaches us about health.
Ladies and gentlemen, so it's my pleasure to be here today. So we're going to be talking about health and wellness in the pandemic. So the biggest question we have, or we should have actually, is why? Why do we want to be fit and why do we want to be healthy? And you know why I asked that question? It's because if we know our why, then it helps us get up in the morning when we don't want to, helps us put the right things in our bodies when we feel like putting something else. And basically it drives what we do as humans and even the way it affects our families. So that's why it's so critical for us to know what our why is. And so that brings us back to you. I'd like you to take a minute and write down your why. Why do you want to be healthy? Why do you think it's important for you to be healthy, to be fit, to eat the right things? So this is what I call the 5 pillars of lasting health, because I'm sure all of us in here want lasting health. We don't want to just feel better for 2 minutes or 2 days and go right back to the way we used to feel. And the pillars are brain health, food, water, physical exercise, and sleep. So brain health, why do I talk about brain health? What does brain envy mean? It means falling so deeply in love with your physical brain. And you know why? Because your brain is your driver. Without your brain, you can't really do anything. So a lot of people talk about mindset, we talk about being healthy, we talk about eating right, but we often forget about the physical health of our brain. Now, if you don't eat right, if you don't exercise, all of those things affect your brain, and your brain doesn't function as well as it could. Whatever sports you're going to do, make sure you're adequately protecting your brain. And poisoning your brain could be, as for example, if you drink too many cups of caffeine will literally lessen the size of the blood vessels that carry oxygen to your brain. So if you drink 3-4 cups of coffee a day, you know that you're constricting the blood vessels to your brain, which leads to poor brain function, which leads to you not making good decisions. So this says it all. Food is medicine. So feed your body what it needs. Every bite you take is either fighting disease or feeding it. And pretty much that is as simple as it gets. So food, when we realize that food acts to maintain, prevent, and treat disease, then we look at it in a different way. Yes, you're right, Latasha. You are what you eat. So the key is looking at food as, okay, I have food in abundance. It's not with the scarcity mindset, like, oh my goodness, I can only eat this many things. No, let's focus on the things you can eat that will help your brain function and flourish. So the question is, what are you giving up? Are you giving up chronic disease like heart disease, diabetes? Are you giving up feeling tired because of the choices you're making? That's what you're giving up. So I would like you to take that word can't out of your dictionary. Not I can't do this, I can't do this. Let's focus on what you can do, right? So that completely changes the conversation, because now we're focused on what can we do, and then we're focused on how can we keep our brains happy physically. So then we're more likely to do what we're supposed to do, or what we need to do to keep our brains happy, thus keep our bodies healthy, keep our mind sharp. And it's also important to recognize if you're hungry. A lot of times when we have hunger pains, it could actually mean that we are thirsty, which is a good segue into the next slide. So water, your brain is 70% water. So that means water is critical for your brain. Your lungs are 90% water, blood is about 83% water. So what that means for us is the more water we drink, right, the more we're helping our brains function better. We're helping all of our bodies, because as you see, the other major systems in the body also need water. And us as a human, we're like 63% made of water. So for the brain to function well, we need to increase our water. And for women, it's about 9 cups of water a day. But I would challenge you to do at least 1 gallon of water a day. So what are some challenges of staying fit in a pandemic? Some of them could be lack of motivation, closure of gyms and parks. Okay, I have no one else to take care of my children. So what are some tips that we can to incorporate fitness in our routine? I tell my moms that I talk to is, do what you love. So I can sit here and tell you go to the gym. If you don't like to go to the gym, you'll be wasting money, plus you may not find the gyms open right now, right? So do what you love. For me, I love to walk. So I get up early in the morning and walk around in my backyard, because I can't leave the kids, they're sleeping. So that takes away the excuse of I can't go to the gym. I mean, you can walk in your backyard. I walk in my backyard in circles for 45 minutes and it gets the job done. So it's always a matter of, why do you want to do this, and how can you find a solution? Sleep. So we all forget about sleep, but this one is critical. So for women, we need at least 7+ hours of sleep. And why is sleep so critical? Because that's when your body heals itself. Your brain heals itself when you're asleep, and all the cells and the neurons and all the things that make us who we are, that's when you're resting, they can heal whatever hurts and whatever tears, whatever has happened during the day. It also helps with better calorie regulation. It lowers your risk of heart disease, because I don't know about you, but the days I don't sleep, I feel like asking at work, can I please not come back to work this afternoon, because I'm not feeling good. I'm just like a zombie. And I found out that the nights I sleep at least 7 hours, I'm up, I'm refreshed, I'm ready to go.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ifeanyi, for the wonderful didactic lecture and breaking down things. There was so much to take home. You asked us why. What's the why? Why do we want to become healthy? And for me, the reason I want to be healthy is because I want to live long and healthy. So thank you. And I'm going to write down my why so that it can motivate me to be better. Dr. Kabari, I don't know if you paid attention to one of the slides, but one of the slides that Dr. Ifeanyi had was food is medicine. You know, you're a fitness guru, you're a nutrition expert as well. But I want you to touch on why food is medicine.
There are 4 things you need to heal. The first one is you have to have nerve supply, which means if the brain is not communicating with your left foot, any kind of injuries you have with that foot is not going to heal. Second one is nutrition. You have to, but how the body heals is it heals through nutrition. Decisions are made on the cellular level of your body. So it doesn't matter what you do, your cells decide what's going to happen, and you decide that through nutrition. Then 3, you need water. You have to have water. And 4, you need oxygen. So with those 4 things, your body can heal. And the issue with a lot of people, why they experience either is nutrition-related issues, or again, you could trace it to the functionality of the human body. Often, when we treat an illness, we don't talk about nutrition. We talk about medicine. We talk about what we can prescribe. But all medicine does is it masks the issue, and your body will only heal through nutrition. So nutrition is so important. And when I counsel people on fitness, I break it down into 5 components of fitness, or what they have to do to achieve their fitness goal. The first one, we have to look at cardiovascular fitness, muscular strength, muscular endurance, body composition, and flexibility. Now, if you have balance within those 5 components, you are going to be in better shape, and your body can regulate properly. And there's an old saying that says, six-pack begins in the kitchen.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kabari, for that. I appreciate it. Dr. Shola, you saw the slide that says the challenges of staying fit, especially during this pandemic. Can you briefly touch on ways that we could stay fit? Because again, this webinar is for busy moms that have the will to stay healthy, but they don't have the way.
A lot of times when we talk about staying fit, the first people think of is, weight loss or maintaining a healthy weight and all of that. And, thankfully, I'm one of those, few people that managed to maintain a healthy weight for the past 2 years or more. Now, I want to address things from a mindset perspective, because I could give you all the tips, which and everybody knows, right? Walk, you should walk, you should, maintain a certain amount of exercise, certain things. But let's kind of go a little bit deeper and dig into our relationship with food, because a lot of times that's where it starts from. So we're in a pandemic, right? And what do people do when they're feeling depressed, feeling uncomfortable, feeling some type of way? They turn to food. And what food do they turn to? We're not turning, let's face it, we're not turning to broccoli. We're turning to chocolate, wine, chips, Oreos, and what have you. A lot of times dealing with that mindset and your relationship with food is where it starts. What's your relationship with food like? Some people, when they were young, they were given food as reward. Food is not a reward. Food is fuel for your body. The right food is fuel for your body, pure and simple. And I challenge people, start to think of food the way you think about gas for your car, okay? If you go to a gas station and you gas up your car, you don't look at the pump and say, you know what, I just want to buy more gas, and then take the thing and start spraying it on the seats. Who does that? Technically speaking, if you're not hungry, you shouldn't be eating, because food is fuel. Once that gas tank is full, shut it down. When you're satisfied, stop eating. Put it away for another time. You start to rethink your relationship with food and start to think of food as being fuel for your body, the same way gas is fuel for your car.
Wow, that's a great way to stop this conversation and open the next. Yes, Dr. Shola, you are so correct. Food should be the gas. Thank you also for talking about redirecting our neural pathways. Like you said, we've been trained to finish our food, not to waste, but we need to retrain ourselves. So I'm very grateful. That's a tip that I have to be mindful of. I'm going to now have Latasha read to us questions from our audience, and we will also allow an audience participant to ask a question.
Yes, well, we have one question during registration, so I will send this question to Dr. Kabara. It says, what is the impact of commitment on a healthy weight loss journey?
Everything is about commitment. You have to first, you have to have a SMART goal. This SMART goal has to be specific, which is, I want to lose 20 pounds. Now, the SMART goal is important because sometimes we have very unrealistic goals. With the human body, you cannot do too much too soon, or you will not get the desirable effect. Unless you weigh 500 pounds, you should not be losing 5 pounds a week. That would be too much and you're doing it wrong.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Any other question, Latasha, please, before we do our
I have one more question, and this question is for Dr. Effiong. What are some superfoods for the brain?
I'll start with fruits. Fruits like blueberries, like basically all the berries, blueberries, strawberries, have high antioxidant levels in them. And what antioxidants do in our bodies is help decrease inflammation, like I talked about, which will help decrease inflammation in our bodies, in our tummies, in our brains, and that helps us, helps our body fight off disease better. Some other foods are your vegetables, like your broccoli, your spinach. Spinach is really good. Spinach, believe it or not, is 60% protein. So, and then it's a lot of water in it too.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Superfoods, we would focus on that. At least I will focus on that as well.
I got one more question. It says, are frozen and canned have some nutrition as fresh? Yeah, fresh foods, or does it take out the nutrition?
All right, let's go to Dr. Kabari. Dr. Kabari, would you say frozen food or canned food is the same thing as fresh food? Can you create a tier if there's a difference?
Yes, it's different because, that's a different from the farm to the stove than from the shelf to the stove. Once the food have aged, it begins to lose some of its nutrition values, especially how some of those food are transported from either other countries or other state, or it has stayed in the warehouse for about 6 months to a year. So it will always not have the same nutritional value as the food that is freshly picked from the farm. So you always go fresh first.
All right, and there's another question for Dr. Shola. Dr. Shola, Onawa, who is a nurse practitioner, talked about vitamins. What's your take on supplements and vitamins in terms of micronutrients?
So yes, I believe that people should take vitamins. I take a vitamin supplement myself every day, which is mainly vitamins D and B. Definitely vitamin D helps a lot because some of the foods that we eat, especially the fast foods and stuff, and the more artificial foods can leach vitamins from our body without us knowing. So it's a very good idea to take a multivitamin.
So again, like I say, without a team, there's no success. So our production and technical team includes Brianna Checheri. She's a medical student, but always makes time to help us out. Etlin Peacock, she's not here today, but she helps us out as well. Bola Adams, she is also a master's in public health student. She's certified in chess already. She's our intern and she basically plans this. And some of you don't know Noble. Noble is our creative designer. He designs our flyers and helps us come up with catchy topics. And then we have Alfred Kamara. Alfred Kamara is a journalist, a human rights journalist. He's right now getting a master's degree in New York University in journalism. His passion and his help has helped this event go smoothly. And you also know Latasha Cleveland. Latasha Cleveland is our assistant executive director. She works behind the scenes as well. And sometimes she co-moderates with me. So I thank this production and technical team for your input and your insight. God bless. 100% of you said you will attend our next event. We're very, very grateful. The next event will be on finances. So we're going to be talking about surviving on your budget. Our keynote speaker will be Dr. Kingsley Kabari. He's an entrepreneur, apart from a fitness guru. He has a successful clinic. He's going to talk about managing money as well. Thank you again to all our participants, planning team, and our speakers. We really appreciate you. If you have any feedback that you want us to know about, or any topic you want us to discuss, please send us an email. Again, I am the host of this event, Dr. Azuma. I really appreciate all of you, and I challenge each of you. I think the first question I have or ask I have is, what is your why? As Dr. Ifeanyi says, why do you want to get healthy? Let's beat the pandemic and come out being strong and new. Thank you again for allowing me to be your host. I truly appreciate everyone.